Seyibumbene insimbi esithupha lomhla ekseni asikuvusele ngwane lomuhle lomhlahleleni Kusile breakfast show hlelo lakho lolithanza kakhulu sesema ukuthi niphilile lomuhla namhla sivuka nama temperatures aphansi ikakhulu kade nje lapha eMbabane akuhambeki kunetinkhungu siyacela nje ukuthi bashayele kahle basavuka lomhla ekseni. Very good morning and welcome to the program sesema ukuthi niphilile niyakhona ke kusibukela ku YouTube sikhona Kusile lithi Eswatini TV dinge mashumi lamabili nakuthathu 23rd of October 2024 so losigiye ke inyanga yekwanzisa lwati ngetindzaba tabomdlavuza wemabele i-breast cancer awareness month. So mangabe usangakayendi le examination phuthuma manje uyemtholampilo uyodihlola simo sakho samdlavuza wemabele kanjalo namdlavuza womlomo wesibeletho Mnguni. Kunjani umhle ekseni?
Doing very well, Lulu. How are you?
I'm good.
Yes, sesekuyo nje inyanga ye breast cancer awareness month. Sesekuyo ke indzaba ye mental health. Inyanga lena la bathe betempile sithi umhlaba wonke nje empeleni asinake tindzaba tekuphila engqondweni ngathi kuphila kahle engqondweni ngathi nje kuphila engqondweni mental distress ngathi kusheshe kuvakale la kulesingisi ngathi bese kuyasinza nokuletha ngala Eswatini lokho kwe mental health. Nasikhuluma nge mental health bonke sasisho ukuthi umuntu encenye soyahlala sisho nje kukhathateka engqondweni kufuna ke ukuthi nangabe uyadiva ukuthi awukaphatheki kahle noma nje emoyeni cishe konke kwendlula kuyo ingqondo nangabe emsebenzini yakhona emahovisi la nakati indzaba letifana naleto wawuvele ngakhona ukuxoxisana nebantu nje labatudane nawe uzame kuba setindzaweni la khona inhlitiyo yakho iba mhlophe khona ujabule khona lokho ke ku taxita ngale kwaloko namhla ekseni sifuna ukuxoxa nje ngaletinye 13 for letibalulekile ikakhulu ke eveni leSwatini kodwa tivame kungathathwa njengaleti balulekile indzaba yemandi la ngaphansi kwemhlaba njengoba ke litiko letemnotho wemvelo nemandla ihlanganyela nesikhungo sekulawula imandi laphansi kwemhlaba seSADC iSADC GMI kuteke kune conference yavelonke yemandi laphansi kwemhlaba kuningelo kufanele ukuthi kuvetwe ngelasemusa longunjinyela lomkhulu wemandi etiko letindzaba temandi utawusita ekuthenini sihlole indlela yemasu yesive yekutfola kufinyelela imandi ngekulawula ke emandi la ngaphansi kwemhlaba ngendlela lesimeme. Saphindze ke sihlukanise izinjongo letibalulekile tale conference siphinde nje sicoce ngekuthi konke lokhu kusho ukuthini ngalikusasa lemandi yaseSwatini nomhla kusena kugabanca insimbi yesithupha.
Kanzikana kabancane insimbi esikhombisa lomhla ekseni sidaba esikhuluma nemaphoyisa ihlangothi lokwa domestic violence sidaba nje sikhuluma nge-consent kokuthi iyini consent and how crucial is it for a person to be honest with their partner kakhulu kade njengoba kunetinhlobonhlobo te-rape futhi ke besilisa batikhanza bangema-victims e-rape bangadi sifuna kuva ukuthi what actually constitutes as i-rape itolo kulinyile amaphephandzaba nje sibonele kuphume indzaba lethi indvodza ihlukubete ngekolicansi umkayo sifuna ke basichazele ukuthi indvodza itikhanza kanjani seyidlongo lomkayo nokuthi avame kanganani lama cases lawa emaphoyiseni. Sabe sikhulumisana naGcina Dlamini kanye navelile Dlamini baka domestic violence lomhla ekseni at 7:30 yena siqiniseke sokuthi udlala nathi lo muhla kumanje sibuke nathi lethamba imbili kumaphephandzaba. Masike kuleto lethamba imbili sicala sibuke iEswatini Observer your leading headlines lomuhla ekseni. Man accused of raping wife, I found her in bed with another man. Kanti kuletinye lethamba imbili heavy rains hail experienced at Shiselweni titfombele tote bantu laba experience sangqotho esifundeni saseShiselweni. Kanti kuletinye lethamba imbili nasibuka Observer lomhla ekseni King has a good heart and this is according to government. Kuletinye parents frustrated as owing pupils sent home. And a cop has been arrested for the rape of a minor.
Kwele mbili sibuke Eswatini Observer temidlalo no end in sight as PLE appeals 15-team league ruling. Another story, Bull Fence Gate crash press conference and cops intervene. Kwakhe kicked out of Sihlangu camp, Sithebe Thresh Seychelles and MTN FinTech pumps in 250,000 to the Mbabane half marathon.
All right, moving on to the Eswatini Daily News. Gletamba Imbili President Vucic shares army prowess with the king. Kanti Guletinye Letamba Imbili Serbia offers Eswatini data expertise and declaring your goods at the border helps Eswatini with its SACU receipts. Read more on page 3.
Yeah, the Eswatini Daily News. If Ali leaves, we are out. Mbabane Highlanders Management Committee, technical bench and players threatened to leave if under siege. Managing Director Chief Ali Homongwe is indeed ousted. Nabi begs Chiefs fans positive impact. Sitebe half a dozen winners.
All right, it's 5 minutes after 6 and that's it for newspaper headlines. Sasal careful spend it in Zabatekala.
Kuyabonakala ukuthi live lifanele lisuka umkhankaso lomkhulu ngematubane lamakhulu livele lithi nkwe.
Thokotela luhlelo lwakho sive siyathuthuka njalo ngabo lesithathu nakushaye kwagabanqa insimbi yesithupha entsambama. Luphindwa ngabo lesine ekuseni nakushaye insimbi yemfika.
Tinkhundla tingumgogodla walohulumende tingumgogodla wentuthuko
yathuthuka nakangwane lithuthuka ngetinkhundla
ngoba kuye kuvakale bominister bahlonishwa ukuthi uhulumende akasebenze kanti uhulumende la ngaphandle uyasebenza kuphela lefuna sikwende uqinisa kakhulu le PR le public relations ukuthi kuvakale ukuthi uhulumende imisebenzi yakhe uyayiqhuba la ngaphandle manje into ematiko la ifuqa kwemisebenzi kahulumende.
Asimizaya sinivusele sikumukele nalo sanza kusivulela silo semhlaba sesivakashele letinye tetindzawo science tekwatisa kuchumana netechwepheshe eveni leSerbia. Lokhu kulandzela ukuthi lamave asayine tivumelwano tekubambisana etinhlangothini letehlukene letifaka ekhatsi luhlangothi lwetekwatisa kuchumana netechwepheshe. Lamave lamabili abheke ukuthi ashelane ligwayi kulolu hlangothi.
Live Eswatini njengoba lisemkhankasweni wokukhulisa nokuthuthukisa tekwatisa nokuxhumana netechwepheshe silo semhlaba kuleli le-Republic of Serbia sichubekile nemihlangano lapho sikhulumisene nebaleti inhlangothi. Ngonyama iphindze yavakashela letinye tetindzawo tilapha letiphatselene netekuxhumana ucwephesha kunye netebuciko. Silo semhlaba sivashele indzawo yembutho yetekuvikela yetekucwaninga i-Military Technical Institute lapho ingonyama ifike yemukelwa khona ngumengameli wale live His Excellency Alexander Vucic. Silo semhlaba siphindze savakashela i-Vlatcom Institute of High Technology lapho sifike semukelwa ngumphathi wayo Dr. Randmer Sizei. I-Vlatcom yinkampani lesebenzisana nahulumende wakulelive kutekuphepha etinhlangothini letifaka ekhatsi tekwatisa tekuxhumana netekuchwephesha letiphephile kuphepha kwetintfo letinengi tahulumende kanye netekungena netekuphuma emahekeni. Ngomnyaka wa-2015 le nkampani yaniketwa nguhulumende imvumo yokuba yinkampani letimele kutelucwaningo nekuthuthukisa luhlangothi letekwatisa kuchumana netekuchwephesha eveni leSerbia. Njengoba ivakashelwe silo semhlaba lena ndzawo lelabanye baholi beke bayivakashela befika chatsatsa kulena ndzawo. Ekubeni live leSwatini lisayine liphindze liphakamise tivumelwano tekubambisana kulokuningi litiko letekuatisa kuchumana nekuchwephesha lingulelinye lematiko linetivumelwano nelive leSerbia. Tindvuna tembuso telamave lamabili setivete Kusile tivumelwano tibheke ukuthi ticale kusebenta masinyane. Indvuna yetekwatisa kuchumana netekuchwephesha Savannah Mazia uthe leSwatini neleSerbia ngale divumelano litawukhona kushiyana naligwayi abukete kutsi lamave angalithuthukisa njani lihlangothi letebuchwephesha netebuciko.
And so we really understand that the 3 MOUs that we signed are really going to be MOUs that work, that we can execute in the areas of information technology. We certainly are very excited that we'll share information and partner together in the area of development and design and execution of data centers, where we want to be able to specialize as Eswatini. We are also very encouraged that we'll be able to work together in the area of sharing information on how to expand our ICT offering, but also how to be able to invite and include the young people of both our countries to ensure that we future-proof both our countries in the area of information technology. So ICT being the future and the management of data is so critical. Understanding that we can also share how we can best provide in both our countries that security of information, that sovereignty of information, but most importantly, ensuring that cybersecurity is always at the forefront of everything that we do is really critical for us, but also important for ensuring that as a country, as a small country in Africa, we're able to have that niche and that leadership.
Na jačanju saradnje na različitim nivoima koji uključuju naravno I saradnju
Indruna ite-science tekuthuthukisa tebuchwephesha netebuciko eveni leSerbia Jelena Bikovici uthe lamatiko lamabili sekaqalile kusebenta kuqinisa buhlobo ekhatsi kwawo nekubuketa kubambisana kute-science netebuciko. Kanti Ndzabeni kubika Phulile Maziya anathemba Mamba Serbia.
Bobabe etikhulu esifundzeni saselibonjeni bathi bayethemba ukuthi usatawucolwa lo mthetho losakhanganyo wekumikisa lusito lahulumende kubantfu. Bobabe etikhulu bakhulume lokhu nabephetha umhlangano wabo nebelitiko letinkundla esimunye ngalesibili.
Ufike emaphethelweni umhlangano welitiko letinkundla libambisene naletinye tinhlangothi letifaka ekhatsi libandla laka EBC kanye nebantfu benkosi nabobabe etikhulu esifundzeni saselibonjeni. Lapho khona abobabe etikhulu bebatsingitsa umthetho losakhankanyo wetinkhundla local government lekukumikisa tinsita tahulumende kubantfu.
Kufuna uphase ungumthetho ovele locinile ngoba sithethe konke lekushido sakubuka lokuthi kungangena njani lo mthetho. Sibonga nje lokuthi intinike isikhathi bobabe abantu benkosi wayeboshefu netindvuna nabo nje bamele indlungulo letofaka imivoyelo kulo mthetho. Ngoba lo mthetho lonase kushido lokuthi ngulomunye wemithetho eveni lotawushintsha lokuphila kwamaswati.
Akhulumela abantu benkosi bobabe etikhulu sikhulu sakumaphumwane Maliwa Maziya uthi bobabe abangasaleli emuva entuthukweni.
Lebe sibona khona ukuthi sibobabe ngathi sisalela emuva ikakhulu entuthukweni. Indzaba lebe besiyiteka nje siyiteka emabandleni kepha lamhla sesiyiteka lafanele khona. Siyethemba lokuthi live litawubambiseka ngoba kuyabonakala ukuthi uhulumende nasaya kubantu bekahamba kancane kepha nyalo siyabona ukuthi usuka nje abantu hamba straight uconza kubantu.
Umthetho osisekelo welive leSwatini ku section 58 subsection 1 kuya ku 6 uyibeka sobala indzaba yokuthi lusito lwahulumende kufanele lusonzedwe udane nesivemi mangweni. Umbiko uhlanganiswe ngithembelihle Magutsha esimunye.
Iparlamente itawusebenzisana nematiko ahulumende kuti live lithuthuke lishaye imithetho letawubona intuthuko yelive iba nguleyo leKhonsile. Lokuvetwe ngumcondzisi wetinkhulumo eParlamente umhlonishwa Jabulani Mabuza ngesikhathi kwephetha umhlangano wemakomiti labuke kusebenta kwelitiko letemcebo waphansi endlini yabayesikhulu nasetimphungeni.
Kuningi lokwendekile ma presentation latholakele from EEC kuniketa nje ukuthi kume kanje Ndzabeni tagesi even lokunye yabuya ku ENPC naye niketa ukuthi singiloku naku lesicabanga ukuthi sitawukwenda going forward nemayini ke akalomati nayo ithola lithuba lokuthi nayo ikhona ekuchazela abahlonishwa ukuthi bendani lela bakhona khona lengithatha ukuthi ngumsebenzi lomhle kakhulu bahlonishwa ke bese bayakhona nabo kubuda sekuba lula ke nangalesikhathi litiko sekukhona into lelifuna ukuthi isebenze eParliament nabahlonishwa sebayayadi ukuthi libhekelele litiko imandate yaleli tiko ibhekele ivision yaleli tiko ibhekele sebabuda-ke ukuthi balihlomise masinyane balibambise. Ake ngibekise nje kukhona lokuvelako ukuthi kunema-regulations lesiwendawo. Iphalamende-ke it's about ukushaya umthetho. Vele ikhonela lokho kushaya umthetho kubambisa okwendi-oversight executive nekokuthi-ke bamele bantu. So leyo mithetho-ke lama-regulations labakhuluma ngawo nje ngiyati ukuthi nasi isuka la emalungu ephalamende asathi awukhulumisana nelitiko. Utanini lama-regulations indvuna ayisho-ke wostyle letha ngesikhathi lesembuthi then sekuyachubeka-ke live litobonakala lisebenza sive sitokhona kubenefitha masinyane etintweni letentiwa nguhulumende nebahlonishwa nelitiko naselilethe lo mthetho so usheshe umthetho uyaphasa masinyane sive sitokhona sisheshe kucala i-benefit yaloko lokushuwo ngilo mthetho ukuthi kutawukwendeka eveni.
Umphathi wenkampani yepetroleum ye-Eswatini National Petroleum Company Nhlanhla Dlamini uthi kunesidingo lesikhulu sokuthi libe nengungu ya-oyili njengoba ema-filling stations elive akhona kugcina petroleum wamalanga lamabili. Dlamini bekakhuluma ngesikhathi yephalamende yephetha umhlangano walo nelitiko letemcebo waphansi nemandla.
Ngesikhathi kwephetha umhlangano wamakomiti labuke kusebenza kwelitiko letemcebo waphansi nemandla endlini yabaye esikhulu nasetimbungeni, umphathi wenkampani yapetroleum kuleli Eswatini National Petroleum Company Nhlanhla Dlamini uvete ukuthi kunesidingo sekuthi live liyakhe ingungu yapetroleum njengoba live lisebenzisa petroleum long 300 million liters ngenyanga kanti netingungu tema-filling stations elive anemithamo wemalanga lamabili kuya kulamathathu wase uchaza ngale mali ekwakha le ngungu leseyisuke ku-2.2 billion emalangeni yefika ku-5.2 billion emalangeni.
They only hold about 1% of our annual consumption, which they hold about 3.6%. Having 3.6 million, which really gives us a risk of the need to have the strategic oil reserve. We did a feasibility study, signed the business case, I think 2023. My designs are appointed a consultant from South Africa, who's a designer. I design, I the cost estimate now to the port. By my designs appeal by estimating the project to be 2.2 billion emalangeni. Long call look fairly, but would say they need to live in Taiwan. Why was show you interest you to Funaxita live? That's what's the woman know. ENPC has sent Balale would say better now. Sabalale Bashonishwa. Better than my designs are longer pay, which was a basic design. My designs are actually at 7 billion. Yeah, Kumura Jang in the parliament, they have my demands. Sapumisa and Abu back and forth. The one shell up and Jabashonishwa, my designs at 5.2 billion. That is as of today. Hulmende the natural resources together with the NPCs yakhulumisana nato ihlobo tethu angisho lokuthi these are the two things that ikhona 2.2 billion na 5.2 billion but angisho bahlonisha ukuthi tindvuna letikhona Minister Finance umbane ngosi Minister Natural Resources umbane ngosi bayisebenza lenzaba.
Dlamini uvetile nekuthi le nkampani seyikhonile ukukweleka imali engu-1 billion emalangeni yekusukumisa lo msebenzi wokwakha le ngungu ya-oyile yelive lesephuza umoya esiphofaneni. Edintsabente Eswatini TV kubika Samkelsiwe Khoza nasikhumbuzo Dlamini esipiki.
Angetulu kwama-50 yamabhizinisi lasekelwe ngemali ngaphansi kwenkampani lethuthukisa abosomabhizinisi Industrial Development Company eminyakeni lophelile ngaphansi kwetikhwama tesibambiso ima-loan guarantee schemes ahulumende. Lobo-ke kuthuthukisa emabhizinisi Mthunzi Dlamini ukuvete lokhu ngesikhathi yachaza ukuthi basekela lonke luhlobo lwamabhizinisi.
Lolu hlelo lwahulumende lolwesekela abosomabhizinisi ukuthi bakhona ekuthengisa ngaphandle kwakuleli kanye nekuthuthukisa abosomabhizinisi labancane. Letikhwama temali yesibambiso tingaphansi kwelibhange lelikhulu kanti tatiwa ngekuthi i-Export Credit Guarantee Scheme lesibuke abosomabhizinisi lesebathuthukile kanye ne-Small Scale Enterprise Loan Guarantee Scheme lesibuke abosomabhizinisi labancane. Inkampani lebuke kuthuthukisa abosomabhizinisi i-Industrial Development Company yithi letikhwama tiyabasita abosomabhizinisi.
The main determining factor between our corporates and our SMEs is that oftentimes you find that our SMEs do not have collateral. But we've got government guarantees now that are available to clients. I think you're aware of the Central Bank Credit Guarantee Scheme. We have utilized that scheme for quite a number of our clients. And it has really rolled us out quite well. In the last year, I think we have rolled out more than 50 SME funding directly under the Central Bank SSE Guarantee Scheme. But that does not mean that that is the only number that we have had in the SME within this same period. There are those that we have rolled out without having to go through the Central Bank Credit Guarantee Scheme, especially in the public sector space. We have seen that sector really growing, and we are very happy to be participating effectively in that space.
Ekusho kwelibhange elikhulu somabhizinisi lomncane ngaphansi kwe-Small Scale Enterprise Loan Guarantee Scheme angathola imali lefikako ku-1 million emalangeni. Ngaphansi kwe-Export Credit Guarantee Scheme, libhange elikhulu lisita bosomabhizinisi ngekuthi libabambisele emabhange abo ngaloku ngu-90% wetindleko labatidzingako basaya etimakethe letingaphandle kwakuleli, nalomunye 90% naseyifikile impahla kuleli live lapho iyawuthengiswa khona. Edintsabeni Eswatini TV kubika Nelson Dlangamandla navuma inkosi Nzinisa ezulwini.
Libandla lelikoleka umthelo lithi libuka kwakha i-app letawenda kube melula ukuthi amakhasimende asebenzise tindzaba temthelo. Umcondzisi lobuke tindzaba temakhasimende temthelo Ricardo Kruger ukuvete lokhu ngesikhathi achaza kabanti ngeluhlelo lolubuka kuphathwa kwamakhasimende i-Net Promoter Score lapho khona lelibandla lende kahle kakhulu kulomnyaka lengcasibalo lebekade lelibandla letibekele sona lekungu-55 lefika ku-76.24%.
I-Eswatini Revenue Service ithi ibuka ukuthi kuba ne-app kutawusita ukuthi amakhasimende abe netindlela letiningi tekusebenta tindzaba temthelo. Uyachaza ukuthi luhlelo i-Net Promoter Score lubasitile nalo kwati kabanti kwekuthi yini ledzingwa amakhasimende layijabulelako nekuthi ngikuphi lapho kufanele balungise khona. Uchubeka ukuthi amakhasimende lakhale ngako ukuthi kulesinye isikhathi emalayini abamadze kakhulu lokuyintfo lelungiswako.
Just to explain a little bit more on how it actually works. So what it says is that for every client that comes for service, when they leave, they'll fall into either of three categories. You'll either service them so well that they'll be promoters, meaning that they'll go out there and actively tell friends, relatives, and everyone else that they meet up with that the service is good, and therefore actively promoting you. Or there's the inverse, whereby they could have had such bad service that they go out there and they actively share with everyone that your service is horrible and that people should not come and interact with you. And we think, and that's basically the other side of it. And then there's the third type, which are those that your service, whether it was good or bad, when they leave your premises, to them, it doesn't matter. They just forget about that interaction. And we refer to those as passives. So we are saying that it's either someone will be a promoter or will go and actively tell people not to come to you, or they'll be a passive. Now what we are saying is that we want everyone that we serve must leave here, and they must leave and go and share with other people that your service is good.
Uchubeka uyaveta ukuthi bayaqinisekisa ukuthi uma emakhasimende anemibuto noma adzinga lusito thide asitakala masinyane. Edintsabeni Eswatini TV kubika Nelson Dlangamandla navuma inkosi Nzinisa ezulwini.
Kutemidlalo baceceshi belicembu lembabane Highlanders kanye nebadlali balelicembu bathi impilo tabo tisengotini kulandzela ukuthi kube nebantfu labachubeka nekubatfusa abasenda umsebenzi wabo lokuvele emhlanganweni nebetindzaba ezulwini.
Licembu lembabana indasi libamba umhlangano nebetindzaba kukhulumisa indzaba lekusolakala ukuthi kukhona bantfu labafuna kucosha umphatsi walelicembu aliHomongwe. Usacala lomhlangano kufike bantfu lokuthiwa ngibo labafuna kucosha yena Homongwe lokwente kutsi lomhlangano umiswe kumele emaphoyisa. Ngemuva kokufika kumaphoyisa uchubekile lomhlangano lapho khona Kenneth Dlamini lokhulumela lelicembu utsi labantfu basebentisa kabi lelicembu.
Kepha lokhu bese sekuyadumata nguloku lesikubonako njengoba sihleli njenyalo la size sibitana ababemthetho ukuthi bazosigcinela i-order. Lokhu ke kuqale nasi ku-off season lapho khona sathi sisabheke ukuthi ngabe si-recruit abadlali sacala ngekubona tihlamba timbimba kubo social media kwethuka longanga direct. Kepha ke lokuba buhlungu ukuthi phela uma ngabe director simlandzile suke kusukumethine sathi sicela ukuthi atosibambisa suke singakambideli lokhu bese siyakubona lesikubona manje. Ngiyakholelwa kakhulu ekutheni tindloti yethu isothwe ngekuhlala etafuleni.
Umceceshi Mthunzi Gininza kanye nemidlalo embucuko Smoothies Dlamini nabo bachazile ukuthi isimo sikabi kanganani.
Ke nase kunale infighting leseyikhona sekuyasesabisa. Umuntu ke akavete lokho ukuthi noma ngabe ngibani locashiwe emsebentini nase kathi umlungu uyawavala lamagede uyahamba. Wena locashwe nguloyo mlungu uthi utawusebenza kuphi uthi mina ngidawuchubeka ngisebenze. Ngula utawusebenza khona.
Lesimo lesi ngithi thina badlali ngicabanga ukuthi nakulwa tinkunzi letimbili mostly it's the grass that suffers. In this case ngivanga ukuthi thina badlali ngithi lo tshalo. Mina kwami kungaba sicelo nje sinye ukuthi wonke umuntu lotibita ngeHighland kusukela kulomncane kuya kulomkhulu for once sesende what best for the team.
Iqembu kunginyalo silinemalanga lamabili lingajimi kanti umdlalo walo lulandzelako lawutfola netulu nelicembu leYoung Buffaloes ngengudleni yasemkhuzweni mhla ka-6 kulenyanga letako. Ubikela umsayite Eswatini TV temidlalo ngilinda Dlamini kanti umbiko uhlanganiswa nguFabrice Msonera eMbabane.
Likhathelo lesive labomake Sithebe Samhlekazi sincobe umdlalo waso wekucala wenzebe yeCOSAFA yalonyaka ngesikhathi sishaye Seychelles ngamagoli lasithupha ecanzeni. Umdlalo lolandzelako Sithebe sitawutfolana itulu nebanyana ngalesihlanu kuleliviki.
Likhathelo lesive labomake Sithebe Samhlekazi sincobe umdlalo waso wekucala wenzebe yeCOSAFA yabomake yalonyaka ngesikhathi sitfolana itulu neSeychelles ngaphasi kwa-Group A yalendzebe. Sigaba sekucala salomdlalo siphele Sithebe samba embili ngamagoli amabili ecanzeni lashaya icelwe enkambule kanye natenanile ncamphalala. Sigabeni sesibili sibuyile Sithebe sangeta imandla sangeta amagoli abasithupha lapho khona badlali labafaka ikhasi tenanile ncamphalala ungete amagoli lapho khona uthola umhlomelo wekushaya amagoli lamathathu kulomdlalo pheceleti hat-trick waphela njalo Sithebe samba embili ngamagoli asithupha ecanzeni. Umdlalo lolandzelako waso Sithebe sawutfolana itulu nebanyana ngalesihlanu kuleliviki. Lubikela umsayite Eswatini TV temidlalo ngilinda Dlamini kanti ubika uhlanganiswa nguFabrice Msonera eMbabane.
Satiphetha ngaleto temidlalo emva kwalikhefu sabe sicocisana na Chief Water Engineer Musa Mwelase ehlala nathi section esimo sezulu.
Be sure to catch Business Watch every Wednesday between 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., where we feature the latest updates on business news, market trends, and exclusive interviews with industry leaders, as well as insights on emerging small and medium enterprises in the commercial sector. Business Watch, your business leader.
Renewal of TV licenses for 2024 is now open. Here is a quick reminder. A viewer's TV license costs 180 emalangeni per device. Other accessories such as decoders and set-top box cost 50 emalangeni per device. For traders and repairers, TV license costs 300 emalangeni per business area. And now, to pay your TV license, use these following methods. You can use MTN Mobile Money with the number 76222000 or dial *007 *3 *7#. Or you can use Eswatini Imali. And you can pay our TV license at any post office in the country. Another option is you can use any Nedbank branch using our TV license account number 119900430037. Don't forget, when paying for your viewer's TV license, reference with your PIN at all times. And when paying for a retailer TV license, reference with your TIN at all times. For more information, call us on 7802-4543 or 34050163 or 34020879. And you can send us a WhatsApp message on 762222000.
Ngosilehle siphindze sinamukele ehlelweni solonibukela Kusile Breakfast Show uhlelo ke lwanga lesithathu kulesikhathi sanyalo sifuna ukucoca ngenzaba lebaluleke kakhulu indzaba ye groundwater imandi ke latfolakala ngephansi sifuna nje kubuka letinye nje tindlela etibaluleke kakhulu even leSwatini lekungiyo ke yona indzaba yemandi la ngaphansi kwemhlaba utawukhumbula ukuthi live la kaNgwane nanoma ke sithi litiko nje letemnotfo natural resources and energy libuketa yona indzaba yemvelo nemandla lihlanganyeleke nesikhungo sekulawula imandi laphansi kwemhlaba seSADC lesatiwa ke ngeSADC GMI ekuthenini kube ne-conference yelive lonke yemandi langaphansi kwemhlaba kunenge lokufanele ukuthi kuvetwe kuwo lo mhlangano kanti ke mwela semusa longinjiniyela lomkhulu wemandi yetiko uvele ukhona estudio kutasichazela kabanti alomsebenzi lo sikuvusele mwela sikwamukele ehlelweni kuvakala ngathi kungumsebenzi lobaleka kakhulu nasikhuluma indzaba yemandi nje lapha eveni sibonile itekwana kuvulwa eParliament sibonile iphindze yangena na kumkhombandlela welive i-government policy statement lephindze yavela ekuthenini nalitiko letekulima na live la kaNgwane lifuna kuphila likhonse indzaba yemandi kutafuna ibaluleke incenye umbuto lobalekile enyalo ukuthi kungani inyalo lendzaba ye groundwater kungathi iba ngondzaba mlonyeni kubaluleke lendvele ukuthi live leSwatini ligcile emandini langaphansi kwemhlaba.
Siyabonga msakati siyanotha ukuthi emandi adzingekile umuntu asekhona nje udzinga emandi i-groundwater kakhulu ngabe asitihluphi kube emandi sinawo lenele kodwa ke sikhanza ukuthi emandi lesiwabonako lahamba we-surface water aya ngekusinciphele etigabeni etiningi bantu bahleti lapha nalapha lapho khona letinegaba imifula seyahamba so ke siyakhanza ukuthi nasibuka sisebenzisa lokho lesikusebenzisako emandi aphasi asisita ukuthi sikhone sikuthi singaphila ngawo siyawathola ahlobahlobile ngconywana kunalawa emfula esigabeni etiningi so ukhanze ukuthi kusita ukuthi impilo igcinane kumuntu and phindze sibuke nokuthi nababo climate change kushisa siyakubona emandi ayasibalekela ukhanza ukuthi i-groundwater it's a strategic nature's hidden resource lapho khona singakhona ukuthi siphephele khona so ke kufanele ukuthi si understand ukuthi ikuphi ihlobe kanjani ingasebenziseka kanjani.
Yeah, ngifuna singene kulesicubulo ngoba ngiyasibuka nje lana sithinta indzaba ye sustainability, singasho ukuthi ngeSiswati kuthuthukiswa kwemanti la ngephansi kwemhlaba ngendlela lesimeme. Ngabe kubukeka kanjani lokho in action ngekwenda ngokuthi ke ngabe livela kangwane lihlela kanjani ukuqinisekisa kusimama kwesikhathi lesithe?
Kufanele sisebenze vele sibe maphoyisa, sibe nemithetho lesitayisebenzisa ema-regulations latawuthi nalo lofuna kuthinza emanti kube nendlela nemgogodla lotawulandzeleka. So ke live nekubambisana nayona le SADC Groundwater Management Institute lokuyinkampani ye-SADC Secretariat le khona kubuka ka-SADC onke emave ukuthi singabambisana kanjani collectively ukuthi lamanti sikhone ukuthi siwa understand akhone futhi ahlale akhona ukuze ukuthi lapho nasekubucayi sikhone ukuthi emanti singaba nawo. Imifula siyayibona iyageleta but understand ukuthi le mifula nje sageleta lamanti lamaningi la khona lamfuleni ukhanza ukuthi inyona le groundwater. Kuba khona ke le sithi interaction between the two, surface and groundwater. Okay. So the groundwater, that's why it becomes a strategic nature's resource that we must always strive to understand and protect from abuse.
Yeah. Imimango ke besingena njani yona ngoba siyabona ukuthi kule conference nje vele kubalekile ukuthi nikhulumise inzabaye kufaka imimango kusachuba lo msebenzi ofana. Ngabe imimango yasenza wena uhlanganyela njani yona futhi izuze njani kunanke masle into wakhuluma?
Imimango vele kufanele ukuthi it's a key stakeholder imimango ngoba lapho sithola khona emanti ngabe tinkala hlamani siwathola thutane nalapho kunemuntu khona. So letindleko tekuwa thuthukisa siwa develop lawo mani ukuthi umuntu akhona kufinyelela ukuthi awahle. SDG 6 uthi by 2030 kufuna sibe sinemanti sonke. So therefore i-department inalo luhlangothi la social lapho khona vele kuba khona lokukhulumisana nalo kuxoxisana kakhulu ne-individuals or grassroots level. So lapho ke ngasiye sikhona khona ukuthi nawe again sibe khona lokuthi sifundzisane ngokuwonga lamanti.
Lesive nanisifundisa niyakutfola into yokuthi ncenye niqinisekiseke ukuthi nangemambala siyakuva lokuleni kufundisako.
Yeah, kufundisa ngento lengabonakali ngemehlo vele kuba likhonyana.
Yeah.
Kodwa ke siyezama ngoba nibona nje uhulumende ngelo waqala lo mgogodla ukuthi lamanti abe nana imishini le kupako lamanti. That was a program le eyakhanzakala ukuthi kufanele siyimaintain sisustain ukuze ukuthi sitawu ensureisha ukuthi live lonke nekwehlukahlukana kwalamatshe lesinawo even lamanti eme kanjani. Emanti ke it's a uhulumende.
Okay.
Belongs to the state. So wena lapho khona lamanti ngawasebenzisa kodwa sekhanze ukuthi imithetho yethu iyacekaceka. So imithetho ke iya review amasinyane lapho khona sitawuxoxisana nasona lesive ukuthi singawonga kanjani lamanti sihlale sinawo.
Yeah, indzaba yesive yayibe inkulu kakhulu ngoba lenzima yekuyifundisa lesive yayibe inkulu kakhulu lokuba mcoka kakhulu ukuthi naso sibese siyakuva lokulesifundiswa kona. Sibonele kule imisebenzi yayisalela kuthenini ikhwalo willingness yakufundisa kodwa engabe lokuva leti imfundiso kulesive bekuyaye kubese kusalela emuva kona kodwa ke kusinika thathwa lokugcina kuva ukuthi lemisebenzi niyayicinisa naso sive si proactive ukuthi sithole leti imfundiso. Ngiyafuna kuva indzaba lenkulu lekhungethe nje singasho ukuthi umhlaba wonke livela kangwane alikabi ke unique kuguquka kwesimo selitulu. Eswatini sayivele ibhekene nawo kuguquka kwesimo selitulu. Engabe lengcungcuthela yona ihlose njani kulungisa kulawulwa kwemanti la ngaphansi kwemhlaba emkhathini wekusongela lokukhulako kwekushintsha kwesimo selitulu?
Lo mhlangano utawuphinza ubuke wona lokho lokushoko emasu nekwekuthi sibuke kulabanye labangembili kwethu ukuthi bona emanti bawacoce kanjani ukuze live litawukhona lisimama. Ingwenyama ikhulumile ukuthi asithi inkwe lo nkwe wethu ke ukhulumisa ukuthi ingoyo akagijime kulane yakhe So nathi-ke kule roadmap yethu ukuthi sithi emandi aphase especially otawongeka kanjani atawubuketeka kanjani. So naku beyiselele ngemuva le mthetho kakhulu le emandi aphansi. So-ke kulonkwele sihamba ngayo nyalo kule roadmap lekhona kutawuba ukuthi sesibahlanganisile ema-partners lane interest ku le water development especially the groundwater. So namhla kutaba khona ukuthi sithi nakule sithi National Focal Group on Groundwater itawulonjeka yona ke letawusita uhulumende ukuthi le roadmap ibe implemented.
Indzaba yemthetho sosoyiteka indzaba ukuthi kutawufuna kube nema review letawendiwa because sekungathi yani kuba archaic sasalele emuva. Ngabe uyakhona yini kusithatha nganoma nguyiphi inqubomgomo noma kushintsha ke kwemthetho lokungadzingeka nje kuqinisatha inhlelo vele tekulawula imali langaphansi kwemhlaba eSwatini?
Kulawulwa kwemandi vele nebenginini sitawubuka ukuthi bo technology bo research nekubambisana namo academia nokuthi sizame ku-investa kakhulu ku-youth ukuthi le knowledge yalamandi ivele ikhuliswe such that nasetikolweni sibhekekile ukuthi i-curriculum igcine ikubuka ukuthi inzaka kwamandi live etelathuthuka nabe lide emandi.
Ngiyibuka indzaba yemandi langaphansi. In fact ngikubonile ukuthi kuyakhulunyiswa nanyalo kuyakhulunywa empeleni nasetinkundleni tekuchumana the safety of groundwater compared to surface water. Noma nje lamanye mandi lakhona asafe kangakanani for consumption?
Soba sibona emathe ehlukahlukene lokwehlukana kwalamathe emathe akhiwa ngama-minerals lathile hlangahlangana kwama-minerals lokwana lokho. So emandi ke nawo ngeke ke vele sithi nje i-groundwater asuke alapha phasi emhlabathini ngesesigaba hamba very deep ematsheni. Ukhanze ukuthi kulethe tigaba some of lama minerals abanako ukuthi ngoba in contact nale groundwater ukhanze ukuthi sekuba khona le influence saba khona seyiba nako kunjinja le quality yale groundwater. So kuyabitakala ukuthi ahlale amonitive. So i-groundwater ke awuthi nje kuyithola bese sowuvela uyayisebenzisa kanjani. Ifuna iqale engce laboratory ibuko le quality ukuthi le quality ivumelekile ukuthi angasebenziseka lamandi kudliwa ngumuntu. Kungako ngishide ekuqaleni ukuthi kube emandi aswadzingi ngabe asitihluphi kakhulu ngegroundwater kube besinawo enough, but because le surface water yethu limited and ayihambi velonke abantu even basecitsisaka. So ke kubhekekile ukuthi emandi sisawa nawo sisawacwaninga sisawasebenzisa sinika sibe siwahlolile le quality kulethe tigaba vele siyathi silamatshe ukhanza sinalamandi asenebuthi lobungalungi ukuthi bungadliwa kodwa ke akusiyo into engakubulala immediately yinto lokuthi over time ukhanze ukuthi seyam affecta umuntu. I-research ke ikhona nayo sibukile ngalapho ukuthi lapho emandi asabhetsa ngakhona singasebenzisa tiphi indlela kuwacoca ibele simene.
Ngifuna sibuke indzaba ye-private sector because we do pick up ukuthi banenzima lenkulu labangayidlala nabo in terms of fueling what we need right now lapha even langangwana indzaba yekufukuleka kwemnotho our economic growth lapha even ngabe bangakhuthata kanjani bona kukhula kwemnotho kuna umsebenzi na
i-private sector namanje vele iyayidlala inzima lenkulu. Lo mhlangano nje siya kukhona apho khona sibambisene khona bafakile lapha nalapha because nabo bane interest ukuthi i-workforce bayidzinga iphilile ukuze bakhone labo ukukhicita. So therefore kuba khona ukuthi nabo they plow back bahlanyele imali ukuthi sive sichubeke ne-ministry ikhone kwenta leto tindlela tekuthi lamandi agatseke. Kodwa ke njengoba ngishido ukuthi indzaba yemthetho vele ngiyo lekufuna isetshenzwe kakhulu ngekusheshsha futhi sitawubonga uhulumende ukuthi usisitile ukuthi kutholakale imali letawubuka lo mthetho ukuthi masinyane nje umthetho ube uguquliwe ubuke kona nalokuguquguquka kwesimo nakodwa lokusebenziseka kwemandi nanaba ke labanye labakhona even ukhanze ukuthi sive phela emanaku ukhanza ukuthi labanye bayebese bayibona i-groundwater as a business opportunity. Kufuna labantu bagolwe ngemthetho bacondziswe ngemthetho sonke kuze sitawuphepha.
Yeah, let's get into the partnership now. Ngiyathola ukuthi ngiyabona nje la kusebenzisana kweMAS kune Eswatini ne SADC GMI. I think we've already stated that. Kanje ke nekusungulwa kwelicembu leligcile live lonke le NFG nga-2021 ngabe kuhambisana njani nemasu esifundza lokho ekubhekana neguquguquka kwesimo selitulu kanye nje nekulawulwa kwemandi ngaphansi kwemhlaba esigodini lesikhulu seSADC?
Emandi akaboni emabhoda. So kufanele ukuthi nangabe makhelwane wami anawe mandi ukhanza kulawo mandi ayathelelana nalamandi lesinawo ngalapha even. So ke lamandi angeke bese sesiwagatsa ngendlela ehlukahlukene. Kufuna sibe nako lokuchumana ukuthi lamandi siwa maintainer i-integrity yawo uniformly and universally and si-apply lawo ma-standards latawucishe ukuthi siyakhulumisana ukuthi nakunje eyibona makhelwane nakunje ubonani ngala. So therefore le partnership imcoka kakhulu. Kungako lokubonakele ukuthi lo SADC Groundwater Management Institute, of which we call the Center of Excellence for Groundwater Development and Monitoring, kube ngilona asicishe asilida simave la SADC, so that sitaba nako lokuhlala sichumachumene nanama standards abe universal.
Yeah, let's speak about the standards, because I'm seeing la nangifuna nje ukuthi vele mazinga nawo indzaba le ndawo gcila kuyo kakhulu. Engabe letinhloso letibalekile letishiwe ekutheni vele kulungiswe kungcoliswa kwemandi, because vele nikhuluma ngawo kakhulu ukuthi manje kufuna abe ngilahlobile. It's particularly lawa la ngaphansi kwemhlaba. Engabe lamazinga wona angena njani ngitiptento letitsite encenye lesingasho ukuthi niyadicabanga ekuthenini tilinganiso tibe ngiletisezingena.
I-technology khona sizapha nje vele siselihlelweni lokuthi sikhone kwa monitor lamandi telemetrically lokuthi sikhone kubona le ngibe ngila ukuthi lamandi lapha la khona tipopolotami tithi kunjani. Sisabanika nje abantu emandi naleli nani lalamandi ngoba phela siyathi ukuthi alini onke malanga.
Yes.
As umuntu awadla emandi labathatha khona utawukhanda aya ngekuncipha kufanele sibuke sikhone lokwabuka sikhone kululeka ukuthi bonani nciphisana bonani nange manje sacala ukungcola lapha ukhona ukuthi sibe responsive. So therefore kulethi ingxoxiswano vele ku-diverse lenkulumo lesitabe siyisebenta lapha ukuthi sibuke enhlangothi tonke. Climate shocks siyabona kuyendeka even leyana nawubuka imifula namuhla iyashaqisa.
Yeah.
Ngisemagugu itolo bohawani bashobele phasi. Kodwa ke nasithi sisabuka lapha editation tethu lete groundwater sisakhanza sicha kuseme kahle kwadise ukuthi sibe nema season iminyaka lemibili lemithathu lapho khona cishelana sufficiently lamandi aphasi abangilathokota ukuthi abe recharged.
And I do see that in Fagela the financing of groundwater initiatives a big responsibility. Na uteka nje tonke lensalo tsanza kutiteka even some lo bese ukubona na itolo. Ngabe vele lokusekela ngetimali tinyathelo temali la ngaphansi kwemhlaba singakhulumisa kanjani lokho ngoba siyabona ukuthi imikhakha kahulumende kanye naleyo yangasense ikhonjwe njengebadlali ababalekile ekuthenini kukhokhelwe ukuthuthukiswa kwemandi la ngaphansi kwemhlaba. Ngitiphi indlela letisha ngoba sesitibonele tayitolo usencenye vela tikasidi nathi sayasotibekile lesingatsebenzisa kusekela ngetimali noma ke kubambisana nje lokuhlolwa kokuthenini kuhehe lenzaba le.
Dr. Sita kakhulu ngiyona le awareness kokucala ukuthi vele le advocacy ibe khona sisho ukuthi lamandi siwafunelani sitihluphelani siwafune kangaka. Sisenayo lemigomo lengiwasho labo road map and so forth and so forth. Kuyabonakala ukuthi kufanele sifocus yethu siyibuthise ndzawonye. Sesinama sikhuluma silive sikhulume ngavilinye sibe sathi sisiconze sibhekele kumelula ke kuma financiers funders ukuthi nangabe sikhuluma sinale one approach ukuthi lamandi ethu siwacoca sifuse kuwacoca kanjani uku-improve kanjani lapho khona kuceka khona ukuthi bakhone ukusilalela because sikhuluma simunye sikhuluma indzaba yinye. So lona interest ibhebhetelako ukuthi ibe simbathise ibe motivated siyiphakamise such that ngoba vele le timali tisatawudzingeka. Uhulumende vele uyatifaka timali ngeminyaka especially kule groundwater ukuthi
Yeah.
sichubeke siyifune ngoba phela bantu futhi tidzinge kutawona lamanje tiyanza so kufanele ukuthi imali sikhulumisane nama-international partners uyakhanza tigabeni letikhona enyalo ukuthi lo SADC GMI uyayithola imali akayithola khona etihlobeni bese so uyakhona-ke ukuthi ayihlephula nikanike lamave lapha nalapha ukuthi sikhone ukuthuthuka nekuyigcoca kahle lenabo kodwa nasingasi-coordinated in our efforts in terms of kuwagcoca lamandi noma ku-advocacy utawukhanza ukuthi le ngoma yethu angeke bayive kahle so kufanele-ke ukuthi sibuke si-collectively
coordinated efforts and collective advocacy ngiyayithwala ukuthi indzaba le icinisa kakhulu le nginakile lo ukuthi and this cuts across pretty much private sector government ministries but it's a big challenge kakhulu in government indzaba ye data research kunema gaps la khona ngivile nje baka health ukuthi nanabo they are trying to bolster indzaba ye research because I think ngiyo lebese informal ukuthi nama frameworks enu athi nibhekaphi imikhombandlela yenu ngabe kule conference lena indzaba ye gaps in research indzaba leta addresswa yini
kulo mhlangano lona ulengqungquthela lena vele i-research imcokwa kuba likhulu kufuqa i-research nawude kahle le data ngoba i-data lesiyisebenzisako kufanele kube i-data le ngitawuthi irrelevant to the situations lakhona and now isebenzisa le data so i-analyze iyavama ukukhomba masinyane ukuthi kwenteka naku nanaku so siyakhanza vele ukuthi i-data imcokwa so kungako lapha even emaswati atawunotha nje kancane kancane kutaba khona tindlwana leti tawucitsisaka lelive lelitabe lisebenza ukuthi lapho leyo ndlu ikhona kukolekeka information ngale groundwater le information leyo iyabuya ingene e-officeini ku-central database sesiyakhona-ke ukuthi alerte noma nasibone manako sikhone ukuthi shaya inyanza lelo bonani ngalapho and sikhone futhi-ke nakwakha lama-business cases lesitawathatha sihambe siyo-motivate ngako ukhulume nge-evidence based issue ukuthi okay ufuna nje imali ufuna kwenta nako because sibona kwenteka nayi-trend nayi. So vele i-data imcoko.
I'm picking up lo ukuthi usateka lendzaba ukuthi nitawenda lama initiatives lawa kungathi there's a big presence of technology lapho nasekuqaleni ke wakhuluma ngabo teletronics I'm not sure igama ngisho kahle but what I'm picking up is that technology seems to be quite a big factor nisaqhubeka nembili.
Yeah, siyayibona i-artificial intelligence ngelinye lithuluzi lokufuna sisonzele masinyane. Siyabona bo social media, siyabona namhla telecommunication awubuka nje tincingo temalayini setehlile. So siyisebenzisa leyo system le analog in terms of data collection but ukhanze ukuthi akusihambele kahle ngoba nje naye belive lisecitsisaka utawufika nini konke lawo ma-points ubuye naleyo information but ke sitawuthatha leli thuba sekuthi si-right ku-technology such that sikhone kuba informed masinyane sikhone neku-informa back loko lesikubonako and nasive lapho sikhona khona sinalo linye lihlelo lapho khona laba adla khona lawo mandi taba ne-platform yabo ukuthi bakhone ku-reporta ukuthi lapha sibona nawo kwenteka naku nanako sitawubonga nje ukuthi uhulumende unato tihlobo letimsitako kakhulu ukuthi bakubambiswane kakhulu ngala kutekihloba ngoba sithi thina sigcizelela le aspect yaka prevention other than ukwelapha ukuthi so uzama kwelapha kanti you could have prevented the situation ukuthi unike lo muntu lamandi lahlandekile.
Samuel asibonga kakhulu isikhathi sakho lomhla ekseni September nemaswati kunengi la kufundzile nelive la ngwane kunengi lelitakuzuza kule ngqungquthela siyabonga.
Siyabonga kakhulu msakazi.
Chief Water Engineer from the Ministry of Natural Resources Musa Mwelase uteka ke indzaba lenkulu kakhulu lesiyibona ko iphumile nje na press release lekhokho ngiloke litiko letemcebo waphansi nemandla in collaboration with the SADC GMI they are hosting a groundwater conference asiteke yonke indzaba udivele sethembe ukuthi umsebenzi utaba muhle live la ngwane lizuze lokukhulu asibahlule market tester ubuya masinyana.
When you choose your adventures, you do so with an open heart. and a desire for the unexpected. You embark on journeys to discover new worlds, full of wonder. You choose a path to awaken your senses, a world to make you look up and realize just how inspiring this life can be. Arrive and awaken your heart. Explore life in ways only thought possible in your dreams. Discover just how far you'll go to expand your understanding of life's greatest mysteries. There's just one place on this planet with so much to offer. Now is the time for you to have the royal experience in the kingdom.
Ngosihlenhle sibonga usona Nhleli nathi eluhlelweni kulesikhathi sichumana nemaphoyisa embubene esive lata sitshela ukuthi nasipopholela imigwaco nomhla ekuseni ngabe sinjani vele isimo semgwaco Ntombenhle Fakutse Constable so vele usemoyeni ke kusichazela sikuvusele Mtolo ngabe sinjani simo lamhla
Ngikuvusele Ncumalo ngivusele naye umbukeli wekusile breakfast show Imigwaco elivela kaNgwane sesihlolile singumbutho wembubene esive imigwaco leminengi iyahambeka kepha ke lokukhona nyalo ukuthi imigwaco leminengi iyashelela kulandzela ukuthi imvula solo tinenjalo nemigwaco ke leyo ledelfiyela siyanaka kulesinye tindzawo sekukhona ukuthi kushelele kakhudlwana siyakhuthaza nje kubo bashayeli basayisebenzisa leyo migwaco ukuthi banikane emathuba ikakhulukazi etindzaweni la kwenyukela khona kakhulu nasetindzaweni la kubonakala kunesibovu kakhulu sileto tindzawo leto siyashelela kakhulu sithi nje bashayeli abende isiqiniseko ukuthi bayanikana tigaba kwathi phela ukuthi bagcine sebashayisana solo bashelela khona lapho kuleto tindzawo sithi nje asinakeni kakhulu sisasebenzisa yona imigwaco madolobheni elivela kaNgwane sihlolile nakhona siba netemgwaco lesila edolobheni elikhulu lasembabane lesilafeceni kwasemakethe adisebendi nyalo ekseni kanti ke nato lesilapha kamanzini edolobheni lediseceleni kwasefoodliner nato leto siba netemgwaco adisebendi umgwaco lomkhulu osuka khona eNgwenya uye khona kamanzini siwuhlolile nawo kufaka ekhathi Malagwane lapha kuMalagwane noma ke na usuka khona eMnyamathini ukhuphukela eMbabane eceleni kwalapha eHighlands Inn noma ke labe kuthiwa ngaKapola Guest House kuneloli lapho lefele khona ekhathi emgwaqweni ivimbe ke umvila longasenqele na ukhuphuka uta khona eMbabane temphawu tibekiwe kuqaphelisa abashayeli khona lapho ukuthi kukhona ungodile sebukhona emadolobha ke idolobha la kumathapha la kamanzini nalo sihlolile kufaka ekhathi lasenhlangano lasesiteki kude lokungakanani lesingakubika kuwo lawo madolobha kanti ke kulandzela tona timvula lesitibonako emabhloko lamanengi aseweleka kepha ke libhloko lelapha endasi eBig Bend umndobandoba nawuwelela khona engesheya emndobandoba emanti sekahamba ngetulu khona lapho siyakhuthaza nje kubola basebenzisa lelo blongo nyalo ekseni ukuthi abangalisebenzisi kwathi phela ukuthi emanti sekahamba ngetulu khona lapho ngale kwaloko imigwaco elivela kaNgwane iyahambeka ngaphandle nje kwaleti lesesishido sithikabedo kungaba kufisela yena umbukeli lusuku loluhle naloluphephile basebenzisa yona imigwaco elivela kaNgwane
Sibakhulu Mphotolozi lo mbiko losipha wona lomhla ekuseni maswahla mahle kulesikhathi sitawubahlola emarket sitawubuya netindzaba tesingisi
kude lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi
aba research bafunze
being risky means ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kulula
nathi kufuna sente ukukhicita lokusembili
kunjalo masondo amahle kunathi lesa
sabatandi ukuthi njengalokhu
Sifile sive sithi khulumeni.
Good morning once again. Let's enjoy the English news. His Majesty King Mswati III has visited some companies and departments under the Science, Information, Communication, as well as Technology Industry. Now, this follows the cooperation agreements that have been signed between the Kingdom of Eswatini and the Republic of Serbia. The countries are expected to share information and expertise from each other.
As the Kingdom of Eswatini is on a mission to develop and expand the information, communication and technology sector, His Majesty continued to have meetings with various experts in the information and communication technology field. The King also visited some companies that have experience in this industry. His Majesty King Mswati III visited the Military Technical Institute of the Republic of Serbia, where the King was welcomed by the President, His Excellency Alexander Vučić. His Majesty King Mswati III then visited the Vladcom Institute of High Technology, where the King was welcomed by the President of the company, Dr. Vladimir Sizei. Vladcom is a professional partner for government security in various fields, such as secure information and communication technology and critical assets protection and border control. In 2015, the institute became the first private research and development institute in the field of information, communication and technology in Serbia. Just like His Majesty, many other heads of state have visited this place to acquire knowledge. Following the various memorandum of understanding that have been signed between Eswatini and Serbia, the Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology is one of the sectors that has signed some of the agreements. The ministers of both countries have revealed that the agreements are expected to be implemented as soon as possible. The Minister of Information, Communication and Technology, Savannah Mazia, said with the agreements that were signed, the countries will share information and ideas on how to both expand the information, communication and technology and innovation sector.
And so we really understand that the 3 MOUs that we signed are really going to be MOUs that work, that we can execute. In the areas of information technology, we certainly are very excited that we'll share information and partner together in the area of development and design and execution of data centers, where we want to be able to specialize as Eswatini. We are also very encouraged that we'll be able to work together in the area of sharing information on how to expand our ICT offering, but also how to be able to invite and include the young people of both our countries to ensure that we future-proof both our countries in the area of information technology. So ICT being the future and the management of data is so critical. Understanding that we can also share how we can best provide in both our countries that security of information, that sovereignty of information, but most importantly, ensuring that cybersecurity is always at the forefront of everything that we do is really critical for us, but also important for ensuring that as a country, as a small country in Africa, we're able to have that niche and that leadership.
Na jačanju saradnje na različitim nivoima koji uključuju naravno i saradnju
The Minister of Science, Technological Development and Innovation of Serbia, Jelena Bekovic, said the two ministries are working on strengthening relations and cooperation in the field of science and innovation. On the news, I'm Kolile Mazia with Temba Mamba in Serbia.
The meeting between the Ministry of Tinkhundla and various stakeholders, including chiefs from the Lubombo region, has concluded after 2 days of discussions on the proposed Tinkhundla local government draft bill. The Minister Skhumbuzo Dlamini expressed his gratitude to the chiefs for their participation.
The Minister for Tinkhundla Skhumbuzo Dlamini emphasizes the importance of gathering the views of chiefs from Lubombo region regarding the proposed decentralization draft bill for Tinkhundla local government.
Ndifuna uphase ungumthetho ovele oqinile ngoba sithethe konke le kushido sakubuka lokuthi kungangena njani lo mthetho. Sibonga nje ukuthi intinike isikhathi bobambe abantu benkosi wayeboshifu netindvuna nabo nje bamele indlungulo.
Speaking on behalf of the Lubombo region chiefs, Chief Maliwa Mazia of Mapungwane highlighted the necessity for the government to ensure that chiefs are included in the implementation of new bills. He stressed that it is vital not to exclude traditional leaders in the decision-making process.
Ngoba kuyabonakala ukuthi uhulumende nasaya kubantu bekahamba kancane kepha nyalo siyabona ukuthi usuka nje abantu hamba straight uconza kubantu.
This call for inclusion reflects a growing concern among local leaders about the impact of decentralization on traditional governance structures. Reporting, I am Tembelihle Makuchwa at Simunye.
The Speaker, Jabulani Mabuza, says Parliament will work closely with the government to enact and review legislations that will see Eswatini achieve sustainable socio-economic development. The Speaker was speaking during a Parliament workshop by the Ministry of Natural Resources and Energy.
Kunengi lokwendekile ma presentation latholakele from EEC kuniketa nje ukuthi kume kanje ndzabeni ta gas even lokunye yabuya ku ENPC naye niketa ukuthi singiloku naku lesicabanga ukuthi sitakwenda going forward nemayini ke akalomati nayo ithola lithuba lokuthi nayo ikhona ekuchazela abahlonishwa ukuthi bendani lela bakhona khona lengithatha ukuthi ngumsebenzi lomhle kakhulu bahlonishwa ke bese bayakhona nabo kubuda sekuba lula ke nangalesikhathi litiko sekukhona into lelifuna ukuthi sebenze eParliament nabahlonishwa sebayayadi ukuthi wo libhekelele litiko imandate yalelitiko ibhekele ivision yalelitiko ibhekele sebabuda ke ukuthi balihlomise masinyane balibambise ake ngibekise nje kukhona lokuvelako ukuthi wo kunema regulations lesiwendako iParliament ke it's about ukushaya umthetho vele ikhonela lokho kushaya umthetho kubambisa okwendi oversight executive nekokuthi ke bamele bandlu so leyo mithetho ke lama regulations labakhuluma ngawo nje ngiyati ukuthi nasi suka la emalungu eParliament asathi awukhulumisana nelitiko utanini lama regulations into nayisho ke wo style letha ngesikhathi lesembuthi then sekuyachubeka ke level into bonakala lisebenza service stokhona kubenefit amasinyane etintweni letentiwa ngohulumende nebahlonishwa nasebalethe nelitiko naselilethe lo mthetho so usheshe umthetho uyaphasa masinyane service stokhona sheshe kucala ibenefits yaloko lo sekwendi lokushuwa ngilo mthetho ukuthi kutakwendeka eveni.
The Eswatini National Petroleum Company Chief Executive Officer Nhlanhla says the construction of a national oil reserve is an important national security tool as local filling stations have a capacity storage of 2 to 3 days. Dlamini was speaking during the closing of a workshop for the Ministry of Natural Resources portfolio committees.
On the second leg of the Ministry of Natural Resources and Energy workshop with the portfolio committees of both Houses of Parliament, the Eswatini National Petroleum Company CEO Nhlanhla Dlamini informed the meeting that Eswatini consumes 30 million litres of fuel per month, yet local filling stations have a storage capacity of 2 to 3 days.
They only hold about 1% of our annual consumption, which they hold about 3.6%. Having 3.6 million, which really gives us a risk of the need to have the strategic oil reserve. It's we did a feasibility study, signed a business case, I think 2023. My designs are appointed a consultant from South Africa, who's high-based designer. I design, I the cost estimate now to the pop. By my designs appeal. By estimating the project to be 2.2 billion emalangeni. Lokho lokuvelile ukuthi tinini telive Taiwan. Wabe ushowishe interest yokuthi ufuna kusita live. Cha, sathi wathi kahulumende no, iNPC yasenibalaleli ukuthi beta na. Sabalalela ke bahlonishwa. Beta nema designs abo la ngapheli, which was a basic design. My designs abo aqale athi 7 billion. Ngiyakhumbula nje angene eParliament yaba madima lenza. Sakhulumisana nabo back and forth. Lokungihleli lapha nje bahlonishwa ema designs athi 5.2 billion. That is as of today. Hulumende ke litiko la natural resources together with iNPC siyakhulumisana nato ihlobo tethu. Angisho lokuthi these are the two things that ikhona. 2.2 billion na 5.2 billion. But angisho bahlonishwa ukuthi tindvuna letikhona Minister Finance, umbana ngosi Minister Natural Resources, umbana ngosi bayisebenza lenzaba.
ENPC has collected a sum of 1 billion emalangeni for the construction of Eswatini National Strategic Oil Reserve to be built at Phuzumoya and Sipofaneni. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samkal Swekoza with Sikumbuzo Dlamini, Pigs Pick.
More than 50 businesses have been financed by the Industrial Development Company using the loan guarantee schemes as collateral from last year. Mthunzi Dlamini, the Business Development Officer, says they always urge their clients to use the schemes as it makes it easier for them to get financing.
The Central Bank of Eswatini manages two credit guarantee schemes, which are Export Credit Guarantee Scheme and Small Scale Enterprise Loan Guarantee Scheme. The schemes are utilized to cover lack of adequate collateral to cover risks associated with small-medium enterprises, business loans catering either for domestic market or for those producing for international markets. The Industrial Development Company says different businesses locally are using these schemes.
The main determining factor between our corporates and our SMEs is that oftentimes you find that our SMEs do not have collateral. But we've got government guarantees now that are available to clients. I think you are aware of the Central Bank Credit Guarantee Scheme. We have utilized that scheme for quite a number of our clients. And it has really rolled us out quite well. In the last year, I think we have rolled out more than 50 SME funding directly under the Central Bank SSE Guarantee Scheme. But that does not mean that that is the only number that we have had in the SME within this same period. There are those that we have rolled out without having to go through the Central Bank Credit Guarantee Scheme, especially in the public sector space. We have seen that sector really growing, and we are very happy to be participating effectively in that space.
Under the Export Credit Guarantee Scheme, the guarantee cover is 90% for pre- and post-shipment credit facilities of up to a maximum of 3.3 million emalangeni. The exporter has to contribute an additional security of 10% of the loan approved. The maximum loan under the Small Scale Enterprise Loan Guarantee Scheme is 1 million emalangeni, and the guarantee covers 90% for start-up businesses and 85% for existing businesses, with the applicant required to contribute 5% and 15% under startup and existing businesses, respectively. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Dlangamandla, Vuminkosi Nzinisa, Ezulwini.
The Eswatini Revenue Service is working on developing an app which will make it easier for clients to submit their taxes, ensuring swift service delivery. This has been said by the Director of Client Services, Ricardo Kruger, when explaining that they have surpassed their target of 55 on the Net Promoter Score, reaching 76.24.
In an effort to improve service delivery and make it easier for taxpayers to better interact with the Eswatini Revenue Service, digital presence will be increased. The Director of Client Services, Ricardo Kruger, gives further details.
Just to explain a little bit more on how it actually works. So what it says is that for every client that comes for service, when they leave, they'll fall into either of three categories. You'll either service them so well that they'll be promoters, meaning that they'll go out there and actively tell friends, relatives, and everyone else that they meet up with that the service is good, and therefore actively promoting you. Or there's the inverse, whereby they could have had such bad service that they go out there and they actively share with everyone that your service is horrible and that people should not come and interact with you. And we think, and that's basically the other side of it. And then there's the third type, which are those that your service, whether it was good or bad, when they leave your premises, to them, it doesn't matter. They just forget about that interaction, and we refer to those as passives. So we are saying that it's either someone will be a promoter or will go and actively tell people not to come to you, or they'll be a passive. Now, what we are saying is that we want everyone that we serve must leave here, and they must leave and go and share with other people that your service is good.
Kruger says they also ensure that the turnaround time for any queries from their clients is way shorter, and have also come up with initiatives that will ensure voluntary compliance. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Langamandla, Vuminkosi Nzinisa, Ezulwini.
Lomati Mine, formerly known as Lufafa, says reports of gold smuggling practices within the mine are baseless. Lomati Mine manager Makawe Ngumalo says once the gold is processed, the Central Bank of Eswatini transports the gold from the mine within 2 hours.
On the final day of the Ministry of Natural Resources and Energy Portfolio Committee's workshop, the honorable members had questions about the works of Lomati Gold Mine.
GDP around what they contribute, how many percent le golide le?
Kusitsinza kangakanani lokukhuluma ukuthi ngathi kuthiwa nasishushubisa igolide. It will be interesting to get it from the authority, which is yourself.
Ngifuna kuva ukuthi le processing plant ikhona yini le improve le quality yale gold.
Profitability ukuthi ikhona yini noma nisetawubona as we going forward, because akhona lama assumptions or perceptions would say there's a lot of money leniyakhabo asiboni kahle ayisi captured kahle emabhukweni ahulumende.
Lomati Gold Mine manager Makawe Ngumalo gave responses.
But lokho sesicalile sesikhicita sekuyaqala sekuba ngconywana njengoba le setup yale structure le setup yale structure kuna 50% lotaku the managing shareholder bese kuba la 50% losala la khaya. If we're not profitable this year, maybe next year stabe sesikhona khona, because past 2 years vele kuyaphansi anciphe ama losses ethu. Then ngetabe sekuba nema dividends after that. Then ke sekuyakhonakala ukuthi I contribution kahle hle ku economy ingakanani. Kuleke to process, there's no way lapho sikhona ukuthi kungakhonakala ukuthi umuntu ashushumbise, especially lelisetshenzwa ngethi, because it's nasi producer le gold. Siyahlanganisa konke. Nasi smelter nasi smeltile within 2 hours. I-Central Bank yalithatha kithi alilali. Nabalithatha i-Central Bank ihamba liyohlala lekibo kuze kulungiselwe ukuthi lihambe liye eSouth Africa.
The meeting was also informed that the investor has ingested so far 460 million emalangeni, and that the gold mine will take 30 years. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samkal Suekoza with Sikumbuzo Dlamini, Pigs Pick.
Psychologist Sanele Mdluli says mental health is key and helps employees to produce to their maximum at work. She says employers must ensure at all times that mental health for their employees is always there.
Psychologist Sanele Mdluli says mental health is important as it affects the way we think, act, communicate and conduct ourselves, be at home or at work, and even with the people we have relationships with. She says emotional safety is priority.
Our mental health affects in capacity everything that we do. It affects what we think, it affects what we feel, it affects what we do, it affects our relationships with others and in our communities, how we function in our communities, whether we are able to fulfill our potential and whether we are able to do the things that we do. You find most of the time that when our mental wellness is affected, we are not able to do the things that we need to do. You find that our physical health gets affected, our relationships get affected. We are not able to cope and function in terms of the expectations that are placed on us within our families, within the roles we play in our communities, and in terms of fulfilling the things that come with taking care of ourselves. Employers remember that it's important to create a conducive environment in the workplace for employees to thrive and feel as though when they're at work, they are fulfilling their full potential. Ultimately, this is about emotional safety. Am I recognized for my efforts? Is this a safe environment to express my concerns? When there's stress and pressures at work, am I able to cope with them? So often it's very much because also we spend a significant amount of time in our work, on average 8 to 9 hours that people spend at work. So it's a significant part of our lives.
What are the symptoms of someone who needs psychological help, and what role can be played by family and friends?
One of listening, one of being present, one of being supportive, and one of encouraging. If you know of resources where people can get help and you see that your loved one is being affected by a mental issue, by gently encouraging them to seek help. Oftentimes, when we are looking at it from an outsider perspective, we often are encountering sometimes our loved ones not yet being ready to seek help. And often it is very easy to also become frustrated with that and then even take it out on the person who is needing the help.
Listening, being supportive, non-stigmatizing is key on supporting people who have attempted suicide due to stress and mental health issues. For Eswatini TV News, Mpendulo Kumbi, Kiane Msibi, Princess Mahlalela and Tabiso Mapanga, Zulwini.
Turning our attention now to international news, where Palestinians are living through unspeakable horrors. This is happening in the north of the Gaza Strip. The United Nations top aid official said this as she insisted that these atrocities must stop. Israel, vowing to stop Hamas militants from regrouping in northern Gaza, launched a major air and ground assault on October 6, tightening its siege on the war-battered area and sending tens of thousands of people fleeing. And viewer discretion is advised on this story.
After nearly 3 weeks of non-stop bombardments, he says the smell of death is everywhere in northern Gaza. UNRWA Chief Philip Lazzarini said his staff could not find food, water or medical care as he called for an immediate truce. Israel has shown no sign of relenting in its war against Hamas since it killed its leader Yahya Sinwar last week. As the Israeli army continued its assault near Jabalia against militants it says are holding out there, the Palestinian Civil Emergency Service said it was struggling to reach dozens of people or bodies because of the ongoing strikes. This woman had been trapped for 5 days under the rubble of her house before they were able to rescue her.
The world must act immediately to secure a safe humanitarian corridor to provide blood, supplies, medicines, equipment and medical staff, or the wounded will die in the coming few hours. The world must understand what is happening now in northern Gaza, deliberate killing. Anyone who moves in the street is shot at. We are witnessing a real massacre against anyone here.
The Israeli military says it is evacuating people from towns in northern Gaza along designated routes and has filtered out dozens of militants from civilians going south. Footage released showed Palestinians waiting and then leaving an area in the Jabalia camp in front of an Israeli tank. Many Palestinians fear the evacuation is part of an Israeli plan to clear the area in order to create a buffer zone that will enable it to control the strip after the war. An accusation the Israeli military denies. Across Gaza, more than 42,700 Palestinians have been killed, with another 10,000 unaccounted for, thought to lie under the rubble.
Hezbollah launched a barrage of rockets into central Israel, setting off air raid sirens in the country's most populated areas, but causing no apparent damage or injuries a few hours before U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken arrived in the region on a mission to restart stalled Gaza ceasefire talks.
A warning of incoming rockets in Haifa and Tel Aviv. Hezbollah says it targeted military and naval bases. This came after a night of heavy Israeli bombardments on southern Lebanon and parts of Beirut.
The massacre that happened in Beirut, the body parts that we saw yesterday, and especially at the fishing port. Do the fishermen have to throw a fishing rod at the Israelis to cause an explosion or attack? These are all made-up stories just because the Israelis have been defeated and they can't do anything.
Israel said on Monday it struck around 300 Hezbollah targets in an attempt to weaken the group's finances. The Israeli army said it was monitoring a bunker it believed held hundreds of millions of dollars.
This is the bunker. It contains rooms, beds, and infrastructure for long stays, and the ability to direct combat from underground. Hezbollah built this bunker directly underneath this hospital. There are hundreds of millions of dollars in cash and gold inside the bunker right now.
Israel says it is not targeting the hospital.
We will not strike the hospital itself. I want to emphasize, we are not at war with the people of Lebanon. We are at war with Hezbollah.
This claim is denied by the hospital's director. He says the facility has underground operation rooms and there were evacuations in anticipation of strikes.
Capping things off with our sports news, the 2024 Mbawane Half Marathon edition has officially been launched with MTN Fintech sponsoring the event with a package of 250,000 Malangeni. The event will be held on the 23rd of November this year.
The Mbawane Half Marathon and Fun Day has established itself as a key highlight in our calendar since 2018. Last year, over 1,300 participants showcasing both local talent and international competitors. It's a testament to events' growth in profile and popularity. Today's briefing serves as an essential part of our preparations, offering crucial information regarding registration and logistics that participants must be aware of. This event will take place at the Prince of Wales Stadium on Saturday, November 23. We're excited to offer 3 race categories in 5, 10, and 21 kilometers. Tell my team that anything we do now, we are aiming as when from what it was before.
In recognition of this remarkable event, MTN Fintech is contributing 250,000 emalangeni to support and enhance the experience for participants. Our involvement is not just financial. It represents our commitment to using innovation to improve lives.
Sithebe Samhlekazi have collected their first 3 points of this year's COSAFA tournament after beating heavily Seychelles by 6-0. Sithebe's next game will be against Banyana this coming Friday.
Sithebe Samhlekazi have won after their 6-0 victory against Seychelles in Group A of the tournament. The first half ended with Sithebe leading 2-0. The second half, players like Tenanile Nxampalala and Ceriwe Ngambule continued to show their strength with more goals. Tenanile Nxampalala ended up being player of the match, having scored 3 goals with the game finishing 6-0. Sitsebe's next encounter will be against Banyana Banyana on Friday. For Eswatini TV Sports, for Bismusonera Pictures sourced from COSAF.
Yeah, let's take a look at today's weather forecast and go for a net break. We'll be back shortly with an interview.
Be sure to catch Business Watch every Wednesday between 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., where we feature the latest updates on business news, market trends, and exclusive interviews with industry leaders, as well as insights on emerging small and medium enterprises in the commercial sector. Business Watch, your business leader.
Renewal of TV licenses for 2024 is now open. Here is a quick reminder. A viewer's TV license costs 180 emalangeni per device. Other accessories such as decoders and set-top box cost 50 emalangeni per device. For traders and repairers, TV license costs 300 emalangeni per business area. And now, to pay your TV license, use these following methods. You can use MTN Mobile Money with the number 76222000 or dial *007 *3 *7#, or you can use Eswatini Imali. And you can pay our TV license at any post office in the country. Another option is you can use any NetBank branch using our TV license account number 119900430037. Don't forget, when paying for your viewer's TV license, reference with your PIN at all times. And when paying for a retailer TV license, reference with your TIN at all times. For more information, call us on 7802-4543 or 34050163 or 34020879. And you can send us a WhatsApp message on 762222000.
Sithasendlulise kudumisa uyomlisa uphuma uyangena wekunene nanini bofakazi uphumile waya ngaphandle kwale live letinye tinkaphana abuye nato wekunene simbone ehla enyuka nawo wonke nangumathapha avula emabhizinisi
nakaya ngaphandle mind of state Mr Speaker aphuma only if kuyelkhethweni ayawucasta for emavoti ayawukhanvasa for emavoti but sibona thina imbubo emhlaba iya kubantu bayo ayike ufuna livoti iyawubasekela iyawabakhuthata ukuthi abasebende babe munye iyawufaka kuthula sitasukuthi umise Mr Speaker lokhu sethembele ukuthi nemhlaba utawufunza lokuthi vele nasifuna unyawo lolungilo vele kufuna kubiwe kangwane ulandwe nalunyawo nalo ngase libonakele Mr Speaker.
The level leli Mr Speaker sidinga everything that is positive about it and sidinga ukuthi uhulumende abonakale adeliver to complement ema efforts of state. So in other words Mr Speaker silokhudwa lolwandle sithi songa singene kuleyo mainstream politics that direction lesayithethwe head of state.
Noma ngabe ukuliphi office noma ngabe ukuliphi litiko siyakunxusa lokho ukuthi wosina ulala na uvuka kusasa njengoba namhla iteka la parliament wonke leso office Mr Speaker avuke anjinjile ngoba speaker kumbe statinyikanyisa letitulo.
For us as a legislature, what are the policy changes that we should be prioritizing to make sure that the culture in Sayona becomes our daily culture, becomes our way of life? Ngoba sithinking ngema procedures lapha lesawathola ngidiphethe asifuni kusuka kuwo kanzi kude la simixa khona.
Ndlovu, it was so amazing. It was just out of this world. Kubona umphathi welive recognizing just ordinary citizens. You wouldn't just imagine. Engcenye kube bekungimi ngabe ngakhohlwa ngalamaswati who did lokuhle kangaka for live.
Njengalokhu ingwenyama sesikhombisile ukuthi asiresponde to the concerns of emaswati. Uma sisukuma sibambana kunyento esitaku-achieve silive.
Simise sinimukele sikuvusela nawo losanza kusivulela besivetele ukuthi namhla sidabe sikhuluma namaphoyisa ehlangothile kwa domestic violence. Sifuna nje ukukhuluma nge-consent ukuthi iyini consent and how crucial is it for a person to be honest with their partner kakhulukazi njengoba kunetinhlobonhlobo de-rape futhi ke besilisa bathi khanza abanye ama-victims ayo i-rape bangadi. Sifuna ukuvana ukuthi what actually constitute as i-rape. Takumeke ukuthi itolo kulinyile amaphephandzaba kuphume indzaba lethi indvodza ihlubede ngekwelicansi umka sifuna ukuthi basichazele amaphoyisa ukuthi imvodza idikhanza kanjani seyidlongo lomkayo nokuthi avame kanganani ama cases alolu hlobo. We are joined by Gcina Dlamini kanye na Velile Dlamini labasoka khona ehlangothini la domestic violence. Sinivusele bonkhosi siyabanguthini benasi lomhla ekseni. I think indzaba lenkulu kade nale kumele ukuthi siyikhulume indzaba ye sexual assault. I think nje one of the leading headlines kumaphephandzaba lomhla ngiyo indzaba ye rape. Sifuna ukuva ke ukuthi nasikhuluma nje ngo consent ni consent kumcwangana ngokuthi vele nibe honest na partner wakho ngaphambi kokuthi ni engage indzabeni lecansi.
Asivusele Mthombeni, sivusele nembukeli weSwazi TV emakhaya, Eswatini TV ngakadlamini sibonga somaphoyisa nembabane ngigcina ligama lami ka domestic violence child protection and sexual offences unit. Si unit lebukwetwa indzaba tekuphenya ema sexual offences efaka kathi i-rape ekhathi. Maybe before ngichubeke nechaza kwami ngidawucala ngichaze le rape ukuthi iyini la mthethweni bayidefine as an unlawful sexual act with a person. La kule unlawfulness ngabe sekuvela khona indzaba dabo consent lengijabula ukuthi lamhla sizokhuluma ngato ehlelweni.
Yeah, kuma nje kusingene kiyo nje le consent ngosi vele iyini kahle kahle yona kumcwangana nokuthi vele nikhulumisane na partner wakho ngaphambi kokuthi ni engage kidodi indzaba lecansi.
I-consent Mthombeni i-agreement noma isivumelwano sekwenda leyo sexual act lenifuna kuyenda. Then ngena sebayichaza le sexual act basho ukuthi kufuna kube sivumelwano leyo senda voluntarily ungasatshiswa ngumuntu kube bede lokuforsa ukuthi usende leso sivumelwano sokuthi ngalenda lelo ucasi naloyo muntu lo wenda nayo. Sebaphinze ke bayichaze le consent ukuthi lo wenda le consent kufuna understand abe informed ukuthi vele ngiconsenta to what yini ngifuna kuyenda kube bede kumbe lokufihlakele ati ukuthi ngiconsenta ini and itawendeka kanjani nema implications noma consequences akho ayini. Ikanjalo le consent ke lokunye lekufuna siku understand ngale consent ngilokuthi it can be reversed at any time and the moment umuntu nje ayi reverse le consent sekude le consent nayo ukuthi vele kufuna ibe free bese seyiba specific on the act ukuthi le act lesitawuyenda yini vele le act ungakhanzi ukuthi lo muntu umconsentisa into an act lethite sexually ngalo into asesewenda lokunye kufuna kuba specific lokuthi kuyini
yacisela ngosi ngibuye ngakuvelile besilisa baye bathi khanzi bangema victims kakhulu kade nje rape bavuke ekutheni uve uthi sewuboshiwe ngezizathu sokuthi uhlukubete ngekwecansi umuntu wesifazane, and also the different forms nje of rape. Ngabe yini lesingathi mhlambe vele ikubeka kube sobala ukuthi i-rape lena yini letinhlobo rape?
Ngiyabonga Nsakati. Njengoba ngi-introduciwe ngimvelile Dlamini ngikusebenza ngise-police headquarters eNdlukulu yemaphoyisa under the Domestic Violence Sexual Offences Unit la evumeke ukuthi i-DCS. Yey angathi nokuthi ngingaqala ngithini. Indzaba ye-consent is something lengathi sibe ne-problem kuyo ekutheni in terms of respecting each other's boundaries. Sibamvu sithandzana si-relationship, even the active noma past relationship. Vele esikhathini lesiningi angustate ngibe clear futhi ukuthi bomake besifazane noma bodzadze wethu nebamfana nebamfu labaphila nekhubeteka tsite labatikhanza basengodinye ukuthi bahlukubeteke especially ngetelicansi. I-rape ke is all about power and control over the victim. Lo muntu lengithi unaye noma ngumuntu lenithandzana naye noma ngumuntu nje lomsukele nje. Singakubeki ke ecadzini ukuthi i-rape yenteka ikakhulu nakubamfu labane buhlobo tsite. Kuncane ukuthi udawu ukuthi ngithole stranger nje ngihamba endleleni noma sekhwalile ngabanjwa ngumuntu. Nyalo sekuvamile ke ukuthi kuba kubantu abathandzanako phindze kube nakubo khanze ukuthi bobabe barape abamfa babo kuphindze kube nasetihlotsheni. Ngiyakusho ke ukuthi banake vele esikhathini lesiningi liyabakhotha lelicala. Esikhathini lesiningi futhi kufike kube indzaba ukuthi athi mina lokubinza kwakhe bengiqabanga ukuthi uyavuma ngane njengoba bekasho babegcina ukuthi ku-specific ekuthini consenta ini. Silence is not consent. Kuthi ngikuvakashele does not mean I have consented to sexual intercourse. Yes, nekuthi ngivumile ekutekamelweni lakho doesn't mean I have consented to intersexual intercourse.
So what is consent? Kumele kube verbal nama actions amele atshengise yini kahle kahle kumele ukuthi lona wesifazane ayende kude but adonetiseka ukuthi vele cha sivumelene vele.
Ungaba ukuthi vele nasitawenda lo msebenzi asidiscuss sivumelane ukuthi namuhla ukuthi siyakwenda. Nabe lo munye futhi athi mina cha angiceli kufika kule level lena kule relationship yethu noma namuhla angiceli. Respect each other's boundaries. Ngoba indzaba yema boundaries imcoka. Bathi ke bobhuti bethu sengidathi umuntu sengiphile naye iminyaka ngidahle ngipressa ngihlola ukuthi namhla uyavuma yini. Uhlole lokho ukuthi namhla sikahle yini ngoba impilo ikanje inema circumstances. Siyathandzana sibe netinkinga. Akusho ukuthi nangilale itolo ngikahle namhla ngotawusangahle. Angikucheck ukuthi are we still on the same page. Ngingademandi info lengathi namhla itolo silele sikahle but ngetinkinga tempilo ngidekhanza angisiko kahle ngoba dzadze wethu lesinye isikhathi i-consent yami ingavinjwa yindzaba ye-health yami esikhathini lesiningi ukhanze ukuthi mina wesifazane angikho kahle health wise. Yes, so kudzinga nawe ukuhloniphe lokho nebanake fuke nabo ukhanze ukuthi akasiye naye okay health wise. Esikhathini lesiningi ke bobhuti bethu yabo indzaba bona bathi nathi siyathintheka mosi niyasentisa timfo ngenkani. Inkinga ikakhulu lesi-experience-ile kubobhuti ukuthi basakhanza kulihlazo ukuthi ngafike ngidobhoda ukuthi mina ngendiswe when it comes to sexual intercourse or sexual activity ngendiswe info bengingavumelani nayo. Baye basicocele ngabe kusanjani kwangathi ucoca indzaba yalomnye umuntu. Especially thina lesemenda leti indzaba nasakujwayele ufike athi nginemngani wami nje sisiwenela kuva ukuthi ucommunicate nalenye intombatana wabise uthi ngeke ke namhla uyangenta namhla uyangenta wababathe bhuti hayi phela angikho kahle wathiwa no ngenkani nangabe futhi bhuti sokusheshe mhlambe wakhulula emabufo ukuthi wangeke buya khashane wena buya ngenkani, which is something Putin akasa consent, the consent yakhe nayo isasiko free. So when this ukuthi ukhanze kuthi kunama-threat ethi ngidawuhamba ngushiye nebamfana usale nabo ngoba i-rape yenteka nakubamfana ababili, both males and female nalo bayadlwengulwa.
Yeah, ngibuye ngakonje ngosi la sayithinza nje lapha velile ukuthi vele sita consensus sobabili sivumelane but bese sekwendeka nathi imfonati ngiyabekisa siso decide akusesha licingo so yakwata ekseni sovuka uthi hayi ungirapile vele so yopota amaphoyiseni ingabe leyo case leni ibuka kanjani nawuthola nema cases la kanjalo?
Yes, siyathola Mthombeni, siyathola but nje lokumcoka ukuthi yonke i-rape case before singahamba siyobopha noma before sihambe sibophe semaphoyisa siya investigate. Siphenyele ukuthi sifuna ukusimitha nasi standard of proof enkantolo lesi beyond reasonable doubt naliproof leliqala enkantolo. So kuyendeka vele bete ukhanze ukuthi utopota i-rape not just because i-rape yendekile but kumbe sekunezivumelwano letithite kumbe la letigcine tingasafezekanga bese uthi hayi mina ngovula i-rape siyakudiscourage lokho ebantwini and sidibene nema cases la kanjalo sakhona ukuthi sikuthole and sayithatha i-appropriate action towards that because lo mthetho we-SODV uyakhulumisa indzaba yekupota i-rape lengasiyo ukuthi nawe uyaba punished for that.
Yeah, so nasibuka nje because vele besilisa bathi khanze bama victims kakhulu kito letindzaba leti itolo nje phume I think article ephaphandzabeni ethambe Eswatini ukuthi imvota accused ngumkayo ukuthi imrapile engabe kusichazela nje ukuthi imvota itikhanza ikanjani assessment esika so lo mnyango ngathi buta ukuthi vele singumfati nemvota singarephana kanjani kusivetela nje shombe ukuthi vele imfeleka so yenteka kanjani a common kanganani ma cases lanjela bekwako ka domestic violence.
Okay, ngidawucala kumbe ngale question yegcina ukuthi akhomona kanganani lama cases labekwako ayabikwa but asengabi ngilamanengi because kusete kahle le understanding kubantu ukuthi ngisho ngumfati wakho ngaraypheka noma ngindvodza ngaraypheka noma sithandzana ngaraypheka kanti lo mthetho we-SODV uclear nalapho lokuthi sick relationship doesn't automatically means ukuthi ngiyaconsent at every time. Each and every sexual activity in a consent yayo le independent. Njengoba ngichazile nangichaza indzaba ye-consent kuphinze kube ne-issue ye-capacity consent ukuthi it's not everyone lo capable to give consent. Siyathi ukuthi kunebantwana below 18 years they do not consent noma i-consent yabo is considered as invalid noma angavuma to the sexual act just because nje below the age of 18 years aka consent in law. Bakhona ke labantu balistiwe la banga consent kufaka khathi umuntu lo intoxicated na aka consent, which means even my wife noma umfati wami the fact nje ukuthi intoxicated akasiko qualified ukuthi anga consent. Nakulokusho ngisisivelile yaceleni kwami ukuthi ngenteka kube uyagula, she is not well, vele akasiko uthi capacity consent naleyo muntu lo yabona. So ungathi khanza vele umrape because ithi le lo mthetho le consent kufuna unginikede freely and voluntarily yabona. The moment ngingekho kule state sokuthi ngakuneta le consent le free and voluntarily leyo consent say invalid say rape kuleyo regardless ukuthi ngumfati noma akasiyo umfati.
Yeah, so velile ngibuya ngakuwe, does it always have to be verbal yini ukuthi kumele ngisho vele ngikhokhe ngewami umlomo ukuthi ya asichubeke noma mhlambe ama actions ami nawo ngiwona la tawutshengisa uthini vele lomthetho lapho ithini le consent kulelo hlangothi lolo?
Okay, esikhathini lesing it doesn't have to be like expressly verbal, but kukahle lokuthi usho lokuthi how you feel today inside ngingumfu kumqoka esikhathini lesiningi because kwenta la line angabi blood wabo lokuthi ngabe clear ukuthi uyavuma yini, but nje na silence is not consent. Umuntu uyasho it's intimacy, it's a language then that's nasiyikhuluma ekamelweni noma wherever we are sidayikhuluma ukuthi si understandane. I should nangabe ngiconsent I should reciprocate lo kwenta kimi nawe kanjalo, but nawe nawubona nje lo muntu angatshengisi kujabula kwakwabala ngishwabinzile Ngihlole, that is when ke umna ke futhi uyihlole ke consent ukuthi hayi are we still on the same page noma kanjani.
So nangabe ngisukuhlabela mina ngabo consentile la ekuqaleni mhlambe in the middle of the act so shintsha umcomvu yena lo wesifazane but uyachubeka ngalana nakhona is it still considered as rape?
It is rape because ushido ugcina wathi consent can be reversible. Yes. It can be reversible. Angathi angisakhona ukuqhubeka kulawo maround itsito noma kuthi uqhubeke so ushido move because esikhathini lesiningi bosisi bafikile bathe mina bese ngifikile la bese ngiyakhona. Now I was hurt and I begged him to stop.
Yeah.
Yes. Ngiko ke kuthiwa move nawe you can reverse I-consent yakho at any time.
Maybe nje msakathi to add nakulokusho ngosisivelile. Lokhu kusiniketa lobumcoka bekuthi lama sexual activities siwende nebantu lesithandzana nabo. Ngoba umuntu lothandzana naye nemuntu lophila naye noma nemuntu lo relationship noma lo shadile naye even language yakhe yekuvuma uyayi understand no language yakhe uyayi understand njengoba asho nje velile ukuthi I-consent cannot be always expressly verbal. At times le tento tami titawuthi I am consenting then umbuto utase uthi nanga umuntu lomithela mhle ebusuku utambona ngani la consent because no wakhe awum-understand na yes wakhe awum-understand wenta kuneti action ngicabanga ukuthi uthi yes because kumbe lomjwayele usuka athi yes nakenda kanjena kanti lona akasho kanjalo bese wena soba nale mentality ukuthi uvumile kana akavumi uthi khanze sewende le sexual act unconsensual.
Yeah, vele sise lapho nje mnganani vele kumgodi bekuthi udikhanze so engage kule act nemuntu lo lesingathi mhlamba utsakiwe noma ubemeditsakamiva. Is it advisable to have sexual intercourse with someone under the influence of alcohol or any substance?
It's not only unadvisable, it's also illegal because kulabantu laba lomthetho losho ukuthi they are incapable of consenting. Bakhona labantu laba intoxicated. The moment you engage in a sexual act with someone who is intoxicated, sewuvele ucommit the act of rape. So kuyingoti nje lo ukuthi sititholele abantu la etindzaweni tethu tekujabula ebusuku bese uyadosela yena so endlini uthi hayi lona noma sengithi tsakusele usuke vele seyocommita the rape and lamanengi vele uyukhanze ukuthi ato report nje sewuvuka ekseni bahambe kanye sewuvuka ekseni soyabona lo ukuthi I've been sexually assaulted so to report leyo rape kepha nayi evidence oyitholako itawuthi labe nabo kumbe itolo ebusuku awubahambe kanye bahamba kahle but iqiniso lithini abesa intoxicated and you obtain the sexual act under intoxication.
Yeah. Ngibuya ngakwevelile ngabe mhlambe nilihlangothi ka domestic violence, what guidance do you give mhlambe labo labadikhanda bakule timo leti teku accuse ukuthi mhlambe bahlukubetekile ngekwecansi?
Si advise ukuthi njoba bekasho gcina it's advisable to engage in a sexual act with umuntu lomatiko lenithandzana naye because vele etindzabeni tekwekuthi sinaba nasatani kahle ngiko lokuletha bese sekuletha lobungoti bekwekuthi vele sotata ikhanza kusowuphambene nemthetho ndlela thite ngoba lo munye umuntu they say unatha mhlamba aze abe unconscious. That person has not consented, is incapable of appreciating the sexual act that causes penetration. Boso tendela nje ndlela yakho botendela yona but this person aga appreciate ngiko sithi I-advice ithi stay away from utifonsela nekuthi sisende timfo ngikhani kubamfu because singibamfu we all have set our personal boundaries. Nasine boundaries efu singabe sesiya respectana so babili because ukudzinga ngiconsent ngathi kuthi ngiconsentela ini kweqala nekuthi ngiyokconsenta kwami ngifika kiphi ilevel. It's my body at the end of the day. Nakungumtimba wami I choose what can happen to my body. Lokwendeka emtimbeni wami is my choice, not any other person's choice. So banakefu you don't own anybody. Kude futhi umuntu longathi uyivalue yemali ukuthi I've been supporting this person, I've been maintaining this person. Ngoba sekuthiweke nalokhu supportana nekumaintainana ngoba nathi bosisi siyabasupporta banakefu nabo bhuti bayasupporta that way. It doesn't mean ownership to that person ukuthi sengiladendela mathanza. At the end of the day, a personal choice ukuthi ngiya-engage yini kuloko noma angi-engage.
Sangibuyanga kuwe gcina mhlambe nje ku-advisor nje besilisa ngoba ngibona vele abantu ikhanza bakule simo leso ukhanza ukuthi seba falsely accused of rape labanye ukhanza ukuthi vele sebabekelwe licala bangathi ukuthi abaka consent ngabe yini lo ngabe gcwayisa ngako nje ngaphambi kokuthi ba-engage ku any sexual activities.
Maybe before ngifike lapho nje ngingacala ngikuba advisor like everyone nje sibantu emakhaya siphila nathi la studio lo mthetho we-SOTV asiwuthengeni siwufunze because esikhathini lesinengi most of lama provisions la lo mthetho aswadi and na umbopha lo muntu kubhlungu ubopha umuntu ukhanzeke ukuthi le act lo mbophela yona lekayendile akabenga understand ukuthi licala in as much as we know ukuthi ignorance of the law is not an excuse but nje bese kuba bhlungu ukuthi lo muntu uvele akada asiyithengeni lemthetho sitoyifunza siyifunze nale rape siyi-understand because most people basengayi understand le rape ukuthi vele icala kuphi ifike kuphi nale consent lokuthi ikhuluma ngani nayo icala kuphi ifike kuphi then ke maybe an advice engayiniketa kubo bhuti because vele ngibo esikhathini lesiningi nababo perpetrator bemacala ema rapes asikujwayeleni lo ukuthi silale nabantu lesithandzana nabo nako nje ngiyaqala ngako because mancane lama rape cases lapho khona ukhanza ukuthi etithandzani noma abantu labashadile esikhathini lesiningi uyukhanzeke ukuthi kunabantu labamithene for ema one night stands ngema strangers but laba relationships mancane kakhulu because umuntu wakho number 1 njengoba ngishilo uyam understand nakathi yes uyam understand nakathi no futhi umuntu wakho uba nalo loluvelo noma athi uphathekile uyagula uyam understand umuntu wami uyagula uyabona other than umuntu nangilobo solo umnathisa labo beni khona kumbe ebusuku solo umnathisa vele nawe umnathisa ubheke ukuthi ndawo itfola i-return yale investment kungakazi uyabona so nasekakushiya nje ukuthi kubhlungu lana ubese awusakuva ukuthi kubhlungu njani ngoba phela besele ngikunika unatha kungasiko kubhlungu so ukahle lo wakho because lo wakho utambeketele noma athi angisiko kahle lamuhla uyathi uthi kusasithabeseka kahle ukhona etfola lokho longakuthola.
Ngiyavakala sibakhona ngoSeptember ukuthi besilisa bayayiva le advice lebuya kuyo umlangeni mbukele kanti ke kuvaka abantu noma kubuda noma kubika lelo cala lelendekile kuwe ngavakashela amaphoyisa ihlangothi lwa domestic violence bakhona embabana bakhona livilonke nje nabo kukhona lokho lofise kukubika saselkhefu sitabe sopesahlelo.
Ujala masada mahle kunathi lesa.
Sabatandi ukuthi njengalokho
sivile sive sitikhulume.
Kude lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi.
Aba research bafunze.
Being risky means ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kulula.
Nathi kufuna sente ukukhicita lokusemndeni.
It's 2 minutes before 8 o'clock sesifike emaphethelweni ehlelo lomhla ekseni. Thank you for waking up with us. Lomuhla mawusanza kusivulela ngakhathatiki usangakhona ukusibukela likhona likhasi lethu ka YouTube Eswatini TV. Ngaloko nibe nelanga lelihle. We'll see you tomorrow at exactly 6 a.m.